Most e-commerce founders think that hustling more will equal more revenue, but that's actually not true. And delegation is the cheat code that will actually help you to truly scale your brand. Because you should be focused on making almost, if not every single task that you do for your business, an at least $1,000 per hour task. And if it's not, then is it really worth you doing it? In the next few minutes, you're going to learn why delegation is actually a cheat code, the delegation detox, the 4-pillar system that you can also leverage, and you'll have a step-by-step roadmap on how to implement all these different things starting even today, right after this video. So stick around and you will find out how you can transform not just next week, not just the next month, but the entire year to actually work for you instead of you working for it. First, I'm Yuval Simon, the founder of HighKick, where we scale D2C brands from 5 figures per month to 6 figures per month and beyond, leveraging our AI infrastructure. And we don't just build these solutions, we actually help you to implement them with you. Here's why delegation is actually the cheat code, and why most e-commerce founders are completely blind to it. Most founders don't burn out due to ambition. They burn out because they're doing everything themselves. Writing the ad copy, managing their Facebook ads, planning out the content, working on fulfillment, handling customer queries. I've seen it all. So many brands are literally doing every single part of the business, but as a founder, why are you working on all those things? Is it not better to focus on the most leverage opportunities to actually scale? Because if you're trying to do every single part of your business, you only have 24 hours. And trying to do it all yourself means you're gonna have to work either that full 24 hours, which is impossible, or you're gonna have to end up doing this, delegating. Because the best founders in the world don't run a business where they are the busiest. They run a business where they're the most leveraged, and where every single input that they make is actually going to move the needle. Strategic positioning, creative vision, and growth partnerships. Everything else is either eliminated, automated, or outsourced. Delegation lets you simply multiply your time without even multiplying your stress. And this literally leads to you not having to do everything yourself and having to let others do that simpler thing, or the thing that is not as beneficial for you. The reason why a lot of founders are just completely blind to this is because they get told that this is the way to run a brand. But those who are creating scale, they don't lie to you. They're honest. It is way different because you don't have to actually be sat there handling everything yourself. And that's not a real way to scale a brand. The way to scale a brand is by, of course, learning about the things, but then delegating it to other people so that you can actually build leverage. Now is the delegation detox, which is a 7-day intensive detox of all these different tasks that you don't need to be doing. And if you implement this strategy, then you can literally see progress in just 1 week. The first day, you should be focused on just getting clarity on everything that you do. So start listing out all the different tasks that you have in a day so that you can start to understand, okay, what am I doing? And just so you can understand like how everything is going. Day 2, you should then start prioritizing each task. Have a label where you can literally tag the dollar value of every task, like $0 task, $10 task, $100 an hour task, $1,000 an hour task. And this is just to get more of like a visualization and a clarity on, okay, which are the most important. And then day 3 is to eliminate at least one task so you can get prioritization. One of the lowest ROI tasks. So maybe you had a $0 task from day 2, and then you can just go ahead and just get rid of it because it's not beneficial to you. Day 4 is where you start to just leverage some small automations. Maybe it's sending a little bit of, like communication between your team. Maybe you just want to send some messages to your team members instead of you doing yourself. Maybe you can have some email flows to send that, or you can even have just different small automations to have your content schedule, etc. Then day 5 is where you start to leverage AI. You can have AI agents who can start to handle different tasks for you. Maybe, for example, it's creating some A-roll or B-roll for your ad creatives. You can leverage AI to do this for you. And this is to actually delegate, maybe the filming, maybe media buying, maybe so many different things that you don't have to do. And then you can go into 6, which is to actually look at human talent to handle certain tasks. And of course, these are a lot of things, so you can break this up over a longer period of time. But this is just to create operational efficiency and to let other people handle things that may not be as important to you. And then 7 is where you start to just lock in this new system, make sure that everything's running well, and have weekly audits to make sure that you can make any changes. And this creates long-term growth and long-term usage of the system. This 1 week alone can literally remove 12 to 18 hours of busy work per founder, showing you that you don't need to do more work, but you just need to be more efficient. Now here's the 4 delegation pillars so that you can actually implement all these strategies. And first is to eliminate ruthlessly. Anything that isn't beneficial to you, if it doesn't move the revenue, if it doesn't give you clarity, if it doesn't ease your work, then there's no point in doing it. And then number 2 is to start automating certain things. Certain small tasks can just be automated by tools like Zapier, Make, Shopify Flow, which can handle 80% of click work. So there's no point in still doing those kind of activity. And then after that is AI agents. They can handle so many different things, from even small, very small tasks to medium and even high complexity things. So you should start there because they don't even require much sacrifice on your margins. And they can handle a lot of things like customer service, ad creating, and so many other different things. And then the last is to delegate to humans. Because when AI handles predictable things, you can have humans who can handle more complex situations that AI may not be as reliant on, at least yet. And so the idea is to get rid of anything useless and then leverage AI and code, and then bots, and then humans last. This way, you won't be sacrificing margins from the get-go trying to hire a media buyer for $10K per month. Now you might have some questions, and I have answers. Like some people say that, oh, it's just too expensive. But delegating is actually not expensive, because if you think about it, not delegating is far more expensive for you because you're missing out on opportunities to make more money, to scale your brand and your company. And it's just letting you gain so much more leverage than having to sit here doing unleveraged tasks, making less money. So it's just more expensive that way. And some people say, oh, I'm not big enough yet. But those that see the most benefit are the ones at lower scale. And you don't have to implement everything I just said. If you can't handle the big AI automations yet, if you can't hire full-time talent yet, then it's all right. Start with small automations and then work your way up there. And then some people say, oh, I'll just lose control. But it's not even true, because you're gaining control. Instead of having this large task board where you're not even able to handle everything, you're actually in control of your day and you know exactly what you need to do that will bring the most benefit. Delegation isn't about growth, it's about freedom. And delegation can actually help you so much more than staying stuck. So imagine you think you're doing all the right things and you're working extremely hard in a day-to-day, but you're not seeing progress. And that's just because you think delegation is a risk, but staying stuck actually is. This is how top performing brands execute. They don't sit there and stay stuck. They start delegating certain things that they don't need to do, because delegation is actually the system that helps you to scale. Now is a continuation plan post 7-day detox. First is to at least get 5 different SOPs about how you run your company and how you do things. For example, a system on how you do sales, marketing, customer fulfillment, all these different things. Just get that in place so that you can know what you need to delegate and what you need to systematize. After that, set up weekly audits of tasks and responsibilities so I can know what is getting delegated and to whom is getting delegated to. And so you can also know exactly what you're doing. And then try as much as you can to get at least 1 automation or AI agent per month. And I know it's going to seem aggressive. And if you can't do that, then all right, you can make this longer. But just look at different softwares you can leverage. At least every month, think, okay, how can I do this better? Is there something that can actually do it faster and more efficiently? Step 4 is to delegate to an actual human. So look to promote or hire, for example, an agent operations manager, somebody who can be a media buyer, somebody who can do so many different tasks for your company, of course. And then 5 is to just reinvest time, energy, and even capital to things that will, again, help you grow, and just delegate as much as possible. And then lastly is to reinvest that saved time. So now after you've delegated all this different time or tasks to so many different people, now you get more time, more energy, and even more capital because you might be saving money, then you should reinvest the time into bettering your product, bettering your offer, your marketing, making different strategic partnerships, and just focusing on scaling the brand and the highest ROI and highest leverage task. After watching this video, what you should get started on is running the delegation detox. After that, then go through the rest of this infrastructure, go through even the post, focus on those 4 pillars I talked about previously. And if you actually need help with doing any of this, with the AI agents, the automations, the AI infrastructure, hiring, delegating, and of course consulting over how to scale your brand, then head to HighKick.biz, which is in the link in description. And whether or not you work with us, I want you to actually think about delegating, because delegating is seriously going to help you so much, and that's the input, and focus is the actual reward of your delegation, because now you can just focus on the most highest leverage, highest ROI activity to help scale your brand as efficiently and as fast as possible. And yeah, just start thinking like a CEO. If you like any of this type of content, of course, then just like and subscribe and comment any type of video, and I'll get to making on that as soon as possible as well. And have a good one.